Well, over 90 million Nigerians will go to the polls today to elect a new government. The elections come as the country battles an increase in the cost of living, failure to produce banknotes, and violence in some parts. Some Nigerians living in South Africa may not be able to travel home and will have to miss the vote. We get a sense of what they're hoping for with the Nigerian Union of South Africa President Collins Mgbo. Collins, thank you very much for your time this morning. As voting stations or polling stations open up in about 13 minutes' time in Nigeria, what goes through your mind? What emotions are you going through?
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you to the viewers across the globe. It's quite historical. What is going on in Nigeria today has never happened before to this magnitude. We are expecting a total, change in the political stratosphere in that country. We believe that today Nigerians will have the opportunity to change their destiny, to change their dreams, and to, elect, someone who would take that country to the greater heights. We have a lot of hopes. Unfortunately, many Nigerians were not able to travel to Nigeria due to the fact that the diaspora voting has not been established, fully in Nigeria, yet has not been passed fully in Nigeria. But that notwithstanding, those that manage to travel, will represent us, and we hope for the best for Nigeria.
We're having a conversation, and I say, Collins, I would like to visit Nigeria. What do I need to know about the country?
Come again?
If I just want to visit Nigeria, for instance, what do I need to know about the country?
Nigeria is it's a lovely country. I mean, I doubt if there is anyone in the continent who doesn't know about Nigeria, if not for any other thing, because of its population and because of the fact that it's the biggest economy in the continent. And I also know that there are so many negative news flying around about Nigeria, which is not always the case, just that few of us, who are into negative things, try to paint everyone black. So you just need to get a visa, like Nigerians get a visa to South Africa, and you visit. Nigeria is a lovely people, lovely people. It's a place to visit, especially as an African, because it's the most populous country in Africa, and the first economy, the biggest economy in Africa, and I think the largest black nation, across the globe. So it's these are some of the things that you should know, and there are so many interesting places to visit in Nigeria, and have lovely food like jollof rice and fufu and all that. So it's a lovely place to visit.
Yeah, apparently the Ghanaians and the Cameroonians will tackle you on that to see who's got the best jollof. But I hear also when you land at the airport, you need to prepare yourself for the traffic.
Absolutely. Nigeria, to be honest, Nigeria is densely populated, especially in Lagos, and it's quite a population, but the government is really doing much about that, building infrastructures to limit the suffering of people in terms of movement and all that. But we still have a problem of population and traffic. Yeah, it's something that you should expect, and the hot weather as well.
Yeah. Apparently also if you're coming from South Africa, when it comes to the electricity situation, you would have gotten some sort of training, because we find ourselves in a similar situation. Absolutely. When South Africans complain, when you have only 2 hours of power break, some of us who can stay for a week, 2 weeks without electricity wouldn't see the reason why you complain. But that does not mean that we should condone what is going on in that country. Nigeria is very much blessed in terms of resources, that we shouldn't experience power outbreak because of the fact that we even export electricity, but we are not able to
we are not able to maintain the shading, the power status in Nigeria due to corruption, and people who prefers to, to make their pockets further than taking care of what the people in Nigeria need. So I would love that South Africa also goes back to, to that system where we do not experience load shedding, because the way it's happening now in South Africa is the way it started in Nigeria in the early 80s, early 90s, and today it's quite unbelievable what's going on there right now. I do not pray for South Africa to get to that state, because South Africa, to me, I don't know about others, is a kind of a prototype of what every African state should be. Some of us look up to South Africa in terms of infrastructural development, to make sure that other African countries, aspires to be like South Africa in that, and South Africa is going the other way around now. It's like there is no hope for Africa. So I'm believing that South Africa will go back to steady our supply.
My friend, that's why we are complaining. We don't want that wahala, because it will progressively get worse. And just maybe if we finish off the conversation, and I guess maybe that's why we're talking about Nigeria and what people need to know, the good things about the country, because we've heard so many bad things in the lead up to the election. Your hope for the country, your hope for the elections in terms of a peaceful outcome?
I really do hope for a peaceful outcome of this election. And like I said before, almost 100 million, we are over 200 million Nigerians, and about 94 million people registered for this vote. And when you look at it, based on the previous elections, there is never a time in the history of Nigeria that we have had this number of people registering for election. This is to tell you that Nigerians are quite awake, and they are not happy with what is going on in Nigeria. When you look at it, about 10 million people, extra 10 million voters registered to vote in this election. That's more than 10% of South African population. And most of these people are young people between the ages of 20 and 35. And this is to tell you that young people are sick and tired of the corruption in Nigeria. We are sick and tired of the insecurity in Nigeria. We are sick and tired of the economic setup in Nigeria that makes people to leave Nigeria to other foreign countries, that left that country, in brain drain. So we are hoping for the best in the country. And that is why we are also not happy with the fact that since for over 5 years now, we've been appealing for diaspora voting. Because if you check, those in the diaspora who are not able to travel to Nigeria will not be able to vote. And when you look at the statistics, over 17 million Nigerians are living in the diaspora. Just imagine 17 million Nigerians are living in the diaspora. And these 17 million in the diaspora are contributing substantively to the development of that economy. I don't know why it's taking them so much time to approve the policy of diaspora voting, of which South Africa is doing. And we call ourselves the first economy. It's quite pathetic, and we are not happy about it. Just like myself, due to my health-related condition and some issues, I wasn't able to travel right now. But there are other people who cannot travel. They would want to vote. They would want to choose who they want to take them to, to the next level in that country. But they can't vote because of distance, because of economic issues. So I want to use this opportunity to speak to those that in authority, those that has the power in the, to look into the diaspora voting and make sure that we vote. So in a nutshell, 90 million Nigerians who have registered are waiting in anticipation for the outcome of this. It has never happened before. 200 million Nigerians are crying for help for that country. And 10 million young people who have just registered to vote for this election are weeping and crying for the best outcome of this election, so that Nigeria would be placed in where it's supposed to be in this continent and in the world in general.
Collins Mgbo is the president of the Nigerian Union of South Africa. Thank you very much for availing yourself for us this morning.